right, Brianna, so before I have you do anything, I just want you to go ahead and walk down to those cones, and I'll walk with you just so I can kind of see what your impairments are.
Okay.
So go ahead and just walk to the best of your ability how you normally would. All right, and just turn around and we'll walk back. Good. All right, and you can stop here. All right, so one of the things that I noticed is whenever you're walking, you're actually swinging your leg to help get that limb up and moving it forward. We call that circumduction, and you're doing that for a couple of reasons. So we're actually going to work on some exercises that will help target those impairments.
Okay.
So the first thing that we're actually going to do is we're going to kick the ball. And what that's going to be working on is it's going to help kind of strengthen your lower extremity. It'll be working on single and stance, and you need that for walking. And then also, one of the reasons you may be circumducting is because you have dorsiflexor weakness. And that having good dorsiflexor strength is what helps us get our toe up to clear our foot when we walk.
Okay.
So we're going to work on that, okay?
Okay.
So first, I'm just going to have you kick a stationary ball, and what I really want you to focus on is really bringing those toes up as you kick it. That way we make sure we're clearing the foot, okay?
Okay.
Good. And our helper will just roll it back. Okay. Good. All right. Now I'm going to have you step up a little bit closer, and what I want you to do is start with this leg back. Because what we want to do is get a really good stretch on our hip extensors. That way your hip flexors are activated, and then you'll get a little bit more swing, okay? So now go ahead and kick the ball. Good. And we'll do that one more time. All right. And then kick. Good. All right. So now what we're going to do to make this a little bit harder is our helper Whitney is actually going to roll the ball, and she's going to roll it to this right foot. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to shift your weight. You're going to have to stop the ball, okay? And then you're going to have to kick the ball.
Okay.
So what that's going to work on again is lifting that foot up to make sure we're not getting that toe drop or anything. And then also working on lower extremity strength, and then you're just going to kick it back, okay?
Okay.
One more time. Make sure you're shifting that weight over. Good. And good job. All right, so to progress this, we would also use maybe a heavier ball and then increase the speed of the roll to make it a little bit more difficult for the patient. All right, Brianna, so the next thing we're gonna do is pretty similar to what we were doing with the ball kicking. I, again, noticed that in order to get your leg forward when you walk, you kind of have to swing it out. And again, that can be due to getting not enough hip extension here, which will actually limit the amount of burst you can have to swing that leg forward. So we're gonna be working on that. And this will also help improve your stride length because that's a little short as well. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna have you do is, we won't do that yet. I want you to go ahead and bring this leg back. Okay, good. And I'm just gonna kind of give you a cue, and I just want you to try to swing the leg forward. Make sure you're lifting that leg up and not around, and bending that knee, okay? And just tap it out. Tap your heel out like that, okay? So go ahead and step. Good, and back. All right, and step. Good, and back. Good. Now I'm actually gonna give you a target here.
Okay.
All right, so just step over that target. Good, tap the heel. All right, step, good, and back. All right, I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a higher target now.
Okay.
So now you'll really have to bring that leg up and make sure those toes are raised towards the ceiling. Okay, and up, good, and back. Make sure you get a good stretch here. And there you go, and up, good, and back. Okay, last thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you kick the cone. So now what you'll do is you'll stretch back, come forward, and just kick the cone, okay? All right, ready? Okay, and ready, kick the cone. Good, and step back. And we'll do one more. Okay, ready? And kick the cone. Good, and step back. So now what we're gonna do is let's just go ahead and walk down there, and I want you to focus on all of those things that we worked on, making sure you're getting a good stretch before you step, and you're raising those toes up and getting good hip flexion, okay? So let's go ahead and walk. Good. Let's turn around. Good. Make sure you raise those toes towards the ceiling as you swing that leg. Good. Nice length there. All right. Good job, Brianna. Thanks. So basically the reason why we're working on these two exercises is because the patient is circumducting as she ambulates. So we're working on a couple of things. Again, just making sure that she is getting good hip extension. That way she has hip flexor burst for limb propulsion. We're also working on dorsiflexion. That way she can help get the limb forward without circumducting. We're working on increasing step length, and we're also working on single limb support during stance and weight shifting. So as we're doing this, we're just making sure that she's getting adequate hip extension, that she's not compensating by circumducting or using any other compensations. All right, so Brianna, something that we're going to work with you on today is trying to build up your aerobic endurance, also doing some resistance strength training, and then also help build up your resistance to fatigue, because I know with MS you do fatigue a lot, which is a problem. So those are the areas we're gonna work on. So this is called the new step, and basically what it does is it does all of those three things. So go ahead and put your hands here, and I'm gonna start it at a low level, okay? Because we're gonna slowly progress. We're not gonna do too much. We don't wanna overwork you. So to make it easy, we're gonna do both hands at a low level for resistance, okay? Good. And we're just gonna do this for 2 minutes, and then you'll take a 2-minute break, okay? All right, and this is our 2-minute break. So now what I'm gonna do now to also kind of progress that is just try to use your legs, okay? All right, and then we would do this for 2 minutes, and then we would take a 2-minute break. To further make this exercise harder, we would slowly build up the resistance, because we don't want to add too much resistance at once. We don't want to overwork or fatigue the patient. So with resistance training, the research shows that you want to alternate days. You don't want to do it on the same day, so we would make sure to do that with our patient. And then with the aerobic exercise principles, we'll build up to 30 minutes. That's a lot. So we would just start with 2 minutes, and then maybe do 10-minute breaks, 10 minutes total, and then take a break, building up to 30 minutes. And then again, giving you frequent rest breaks, making sure that you're not too overheated, keeping ice packs on hand, and just checking in with you on your status. All right, Brianna, so the reason why I have you in the support system is because we want to make sure we can support some of your body weight. By supporting your body weight, it'll kind of help with your balance impairments, and it'll also allow us a chance to work on your gait speed, as well as just working on all the different gait impairments we've been talking about. So with this, I have targets here on the treadmill, so I want you to step to the targets as much as you can. Good. And by doing that, you're getting that adequate hip extension right here. That way, you're able to really propel that limb forward, raise those toes up to help clear the ground. That way, you're not circumducting. All right, so as you get a little bit better with this, I would increase the speed to help with the progression. And then, as she gets even better, we'll go ahead and take the support system off, and we'll begin to do treadmill training without the support system. So again, the reason why we're doing this is to help the patient actually work on gait impairments in context. So she's able to work on all the things that we've been talking about, avoiding any compensations such as circumduction of that right limb. She can also work on her endurance and also increase her resistance to fatigue. All right, Brianna, so another thing that we're going to do to help you work on your aerobic endurance and then also to increase your resistance to fatigue is we're going to do treadmill walking, okay? So this allows you to practice gait in context and work on the impairments that we talked about earlier. So see how we have these little stickers? Yeah. I want you to step right to them because that will give you a target, okay? All right, make sure you're really getting good. That hip extension and then stepping, great. All right, we're gonna make this a little bit harder. Keep walking to those stickers. I'm gonna drop beanbags, and now you're gonna have to step over them. Okay. So really lift that leg up like we talked about, and make sure your toes go towards the ceiling so you can clear your leg, okay?
Okay.
All right, ready? Good. Good. All right, and then to progress this, we would speed you up, work on the stickers again, and then once she was able to do that at a faster speed, we would do the beanbags. We would only do this probably for about 2 minutes, allowing her a 2-minute break, and then we would slowly progress her. That way we don't overwork her or fatigue her.